morning, boys and girls. I'm Miss Lydia from the Boston Library. Thank you so much for joining me for story time today. Today we are talking about squirrels. So if you look out in your yard, you might see the squirrels very busily gathering acorns and storing them away for the winter. The first book that we are going to read is called The Busy Little Squirrel by Nancy Tefuri. Leaves were falling, the air was getting cold. It was time for Squirrel to get ready for winter. "Squeak, squeak," said Mouse. "Will you nibble a pumpkin with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. What kind of trees do you think those are? "Sweet, sweet," said Bird. "Will you rest on a branch with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. Do you know what kind of bird that is? That's a chickadee. "Croak, croak," said Frog. "Will you hop on rocks with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. "Meow, meow," said Cat. "Will you lie in the sun with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. And what are those right there? "Woof, woof," said Dog. "Will you run in the field with us?" But Squirrel couldn't. He was so busy. What's he gathering there? That's corn. "Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo," called Owl. "Will you watch the moon with us?" But Squirrel couldn't, because he was fast asleep. And look at all the food he gathered for the winter there. Next, let's learn some facts about squirrels. This book is by Leo Stats. Squirrels are rodents. They have long, bushy tails. There are many kinds of squirrels. Squirrels can be many colors and sizes. They have big eyes, and their front teeth are large. Squirrels live in many places around the world. They live in grasslands and forests. Some even live in the Arctic. Here we have a map of where squirrels live. All of those places except for the green spots. Some squirrels make nests in trees. Others dig in the ground. Squirrels mostly eat nuts, seeds, and grains. Sometimes they eat eggs and insects. Squirrels forage for food. They eat some food right away, and they store the rest for winter. Squirrels are born in nests or in holes in trees. Baby squirrels are tiny and blind, and their mother takes care of them. Later on, the baby squirrels leave the nest and they find their own homes. Some squirrels live alone, but others live in groups. Squirrels can live for up to 14 years. And here we have the average length and the shortest squirrel. So an American pygmy squirrel is shorter than a basketball. The average length for the longest squirrel, an Indian giant squirrel, is longer than a basketball at 2 feet and 4 inches. So we go from the smallest squirrel at 5 inches to the largest at 2 foot and 4 inches. This is one of my favorites. This is called Good Night Bat, Good Morning Squirrel by Paul Meisel. Bat needed a new home. "I lost my home. Can I stay with you?" said Bat. "Sorry, we already have too many bats," the old bat said. "I lost my home. Can I live here?" said Bat. "Yes, but I might eat you," said the fox. "No, thank you," said Bat. "I lost my home. Can I share yours?" asked Bat. "No way. Bats are stinky. Please go away," said the skunk. Bat searched high, Bat searched low, Bat searched everywhere in between. Then he spotted something. The clump of leaves and sticks had a small opening with a cozy home inside. Bat could even hang from one of the twigs at bedtime. Perfect, thought Bat. Bat gathered bugs for a snack for later, and then he hopped up on a twig and fell fast asleep. Squirrel was dreaming of nuts, delicious nuts, crunchy nuts, snoring nuts. When Squirrel woke up, she was startled to discover a bat sleeping upside down. "Excuse me, this is my house," Squirrel said to Bat. Squirrel shook Bat. "I'm going out to hide acorns. Please leave before I get back." But Squirrel had a feeling that Bat wasn't listening. To be on the safe side, Squirrel left a note. At dusk, Bat woke up and found the note. "Dear Bat, bug off. Sincerely, Squirrel." Oh, Squirrel doesn't like the bugs on her bed, thought Bat. He piled the bugs in the corner and wrote Squirrel a polite reply, and then took off for bug hunting. "Sorry about the bugs. See you later, Bat." Squirrel came home a little while later, ready for a good night's sleep. "See you later," she thought. "We'll see about that." Before climbing into bed, she hung up a new note outside near the opening. "Dear Bat, bats not welcome. Sincerely, Squirrel." Hunting mosquitoes, hoppers, and stink bugs all night made Bat tired. He couldn't wait to curl up on his twig. When he got back to Squirrel's house, he saw a new note. "Dear Bat, bats, look at that bug. Welcome, sincerely, Squirrel." What word was that bug covering up? What a nice friend, thought Bat, and he wrote back to Squirrel. "Hi, thanks for the warm welcome, Bat." "Again," said Squirrel, when Bat's snoring woke her up. Before she left for another busy day, she wrote her most forceful note yet. "Dear Bat, leave my house. Sincerely, Squirrel." Bat woke up, he stretched. Squirrel's last note was hard to miss. Bat smiled when he read it. Okay, he thought. In the moonlight, Bat added more leaves to Squirrel's house. It nearly doubled in size. Bat was exhausted after a long night of work, and before he fell asleep, he wrote Squirrel another note. "I leaved your house." He put leaves all over the house. "Hope you like it, Bat." Huh? Thought Squirrel when she read the new note. This bat is batty. Before she left the snoring Bat to find nuts, Squirrel thought she would write one very last note. Outside, she noticed all the new leaves. "That's pretty nice," thought Squirrel. "Dear Bat," here's her note. "Scram. Adios. Goodbye." Bat woke up at sunset. He didn't see Squirrel in her bed. "Scram? Adios? Goodbye?" read Bat. "I wonder why the Squirrel left." And Bat flew off to find bugs. Meanwhile, Squirrel sat on her stump. She was sure her last note made Bat leave, but she started to miss him. He did fix up her house, thought Squirrel, and he writes such nice notes. While catching bugs, Bat thought about how lonely it would be without Squirrel, and he started to miss Squirrel. Bat flew back just as Squirrel came home late. "You didn't leave," Squirrel shouted happily. "And you didn't either," shouted Bat. "Want to come inside? I'll teach you my favorite game," said Squirrel. "Sure," said Bat. Bat and Squirrel played tic-tac-toe until sunrise. "That was fun. I'm sleepy," Bat yawned, as he hopped up on his stick. "Good night, Bat," said Squirrel. "Good morning, Squirrel," said Bat. "See you later," said Squirrel. But Squirrel had a feeling that Bat wasn't listening. So Squirrel left one very, very last note. "Dear Bat, welcome to our house. See you later. Your friend, Squirrel." Errol by Hannah Shaw. One day, Bob found a squirrel in his package of nuts. "Yikes!" yelled Bob. "Crikes!" squeaked the squirrel. Squirrels didn't usually talk, so Bob was sure this one must be rather special. "I'm Bob," said Bob. "What's your name?" "I'm Errol," said Errol. Bob could only imagine how Errol had gotten inside the package of nuts in the first place. Look at that crazy map. Can you follow the journey that Errol took into the box of nuts? "You must be hungry after all that," said Bob. So he made Errol a peanut butter sandwich, and another, and another. "I like peanut butter too," said Bob. Errol stuffed his face, spraying crumbs everywhere. Soon, he was covered head to tail in peanut butter. "You need a bath," said Bob. But Errol didn't like water. "It's got bubbles," said Bob. But Errol didn't like bubbles either. So Bob tried cleaning Errol with his mom's toothbrush. But Errol wasn't fond of that plan either. He ran, jumped, and climbed all over. Look at the mess he's making. Finally, Bob cornered him. A trail of dirty paw prints led Bob all the way to the top of the curtains, Mom's favorite curtains, where Errol was swinging dangerously. "Hey, Errol, there's a great climbing tree just outside," said Bob. Errol scrambled up the tree as quick as a flash, and he sat at the top, waiting for Bob. "It's a very long way down," said Bob, trying not to sound scared. "Oh no, I'm stuck," he wailed moments later. Luckily, Errol was there to help him climb down safely. "Look at this mess! What have you been doing?" said Bob's mom. "Errol did it," said Bob. "Who is Errol?" she asked. "He's the talking squirrel I found in my package of nuts," Bob explained. "There's no such thing as a..." "Well, how do you do?" said Errol. "Ah!" cried Bob's mom. Bob told his mom everything. And when she had calmed down, she said that Errol would have to go back home. "Not back in the package," said Bob in dismay. "No, back to the woods," said his mom. Bob was sad that Errol was going home, even if he had gotten him into lots of trouble. He made Errol a triple mega peanut butter sandwich as a goodbye present. "Goodbye, Errol," said Bob. When his mom wasn't looking, he whispered, "Come back and visit me soon." "Bye-bye, Bob," said Errol. Errol's friends were extremely pleased to see him again, and he told them all about his adventures with his new friend, Bob. The next day, Bob had Chewy Crunchy Monkey Munchie for breakfast. What do you see in that box? Can you guess what happened next? I hope you enjoyed our squirrel stories for the day. Look out in your yard and see if you can spot any squirrels and any acorns that they're gathering up. If you want to make an easy acorn squirrel craft, check out our video from Friday. We'll see you next week for a Halloween and autumn inspired story time.